And we
Welcome to Elegant Profanity with me, Dennis Gleason, host Travis Barnes. We're proud to welcome a sponsor to Elegant Profanity.
Forgot about that part. Shouldn't have said that first part.
Wait Time Fitness on Pine Forest Road in Pensacola, Florida. Welcome aboard. We have a new location coming on North 9th Avenue.
We don't. That gym does.
Oh, the gym does. That gym does as well. So stay tuned. Check it out.
So tonight we have on from Epic Power Gaming, and for those of you who don't know what that is, you're about to find out. Is a good friend of mine that I've known for a long time, Gage Riley.
Hey everybody.
How are you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. It's a nice Thursday. I got a 3-day weekend coming up, so I'm glad to get out of work for a while.
3-day weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You're forgetting Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Today is Thursday. I'm falling behind.
You are falling behind. We did it last night, so it threw us off.
Yeah, that is. That's exactly what it is. But then I would still would have thought that tomorrow is Thursday. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. I'm trying to help you out, but you just kind of sealed the deal back that you don't know what day it is.
That's okay.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'm just losing my mind a little bit. Getting old. So, again, continue to bear with us as we go through these new setup that we have going on. We've been messing with the sound. We just got all this new equipment. So, if it keeps sounding good and then it sounds bad, just kind of bear with us as we figure out all these knobs.
Actually, even better, if anybody's listening, you can comment on how it sounds. We'll make corrections as well.
Right, that'd be very helpful. So before we get into the whole thing, Epic Power Gaming Facebook, it's Epic Power no spaces, and then gaming with the space. Go on his page, check that out. He's got a website too, all of that together. Go on there, check that out.
EpicPowerGaming.com.
Thank you. Elegant Profanity, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Go on there, do your thing. Let's get into it. That's when we hit the music.
Actually, that's a good point. That's when we should do it.
Perfect.
Okay. So, Gage, my friend, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too, Travis. How you doing?
So, Epic Power Gaming. Before I get into anything else, just explain what that is.
A few years ago, a friend of mine suggested, I don't know, I guess he read my Facebook post or something about movies I was watching 3 or 4 years ago, and he said I should start some kind of blog and let people read my thoughts. I guess he thought I coalesced them into a fun way to read. So I tried it. I only did a few movies because back then it was movies. And then 2 or 3 years ago, I said I'm going to try this again. I had a few friends who wanted to start up some kind of site where we pretty much just talked about games and reviewed them in a fun way. Now if you look up a review of be it a movie or a game, it's kind of cut and dry. Oh, well, it was good, but it wasn't that good. But I kind of goof off in my writing. Plus, I just like writing, and I like people hearing my opinion. So, so I started that up, and not knowing much about website hosting or anything, it's kind of it still really confuses me actually. Went to some site, Google pretty much had to start it up, and tried to come up with a name. Originally it was called InGame, but they wanted to charge me like $180 to keep that, so I said fuck that. So I switched it for $18 to Epic Power Gaming, because that was kind of a nickname a few friends of mine over the internet. The friend who had suggested I start, he had kind of adopted that name, so I said, well, I'm going to switch it to that. So over 2 or 3 years, I posted every now and then, and now it's kind of catching on. I've got some help from some people who are in the biz, so to speak,
quote unquote.
Yeah, so they're helping out right now, and it's starting to catch on. It's slow at first, but it picks up. So.
Go ahead. How long did it take before you started realizing people are reading this? People are interested. Because a lot of times you put things out there and someone's like, it just goes somewhere, and you don't get it back. So you're like, wait a minute, where'd that go? Then what happened? Like, how long did it take before you realized, oh, people are reading this. People do care what I have to say.
At first, I mean, it was while I was at Law Enforcement Academy, so I was just posting in the week when I was bored, and I'd refresh the site, like, oh, how many views have I got now? And I can promise you, out of a few thousand that are on there now, I'm probably like half of them. Maybe not that many, but a good amount. And but it'd be times when I'd post something and then I'd hear, the next day, or I'd see that, oh, well, there's 60 or 70 views, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, and it's not. But to me, that was like, oh wow, that means 60 or 70 people looked at what I had to say, and hey, if even half of them were interested, if even one of them was interested, that was pretty cool. And then so now we've gotten more active on the Facebook to see. Facebook actually tells you how many people click the links, how many people have read the post. You get comments and everything, and then page likes to see people that I don't have mutual friends with, that I know aren't just friends trying to be supportive. It's pretty cool to say, oh, well, someone I don't even know, someone who has no ties to anyone I know, is interested in this, and I guess that's pretty interesting. It's a self-esteem boost, if anything.
To go kind of deep with it, like we talked about likes, like they have no value, but in a sense they do. Like you look at it as, oh, we have 90 likes, like, oh, that's amazing. But what is it really? But it feels good to have it.
Yeah.
And similar to what you were talking about somebody who you don't know is looking at your stuff. That's like the biggest thing for me too. Is like somebody, just like you said, somebody who's not just going on there just being nice. Oh, no, try my. I'll click on the little thingy, and then I'll click off of it as fast as it can load.
Exactly.
But to know, like I said, no mutual friend, just some dude who's like, oh, this looks interesting. Top pets in video games? Yes, I think I will. So did it just start out as just a blog? Okay, so a blog is what you were doing, and so now is it still just that with you and a couple of other guys, or is it more like a review website?
It's really a mix. The first few things I posted about were specific video games. Maybe I was just talking about a character I liked and why they were cool and why they were so good in this video game, why you should pick them, stuff like that. And then there was a few games that I'd write reviews for and try to make my own rating system and all that. That didn't really pan out. I'm still working on stuff like that. And then kind of just figuring out how to edit the site and get it to look the way you want it was most of it. A lot of the posts now are, I think we're trying to, I guess these days it's all about lists. People want lists. And I don't really want to turn into the cliche. That's why I'm trying to stick away from YouTube, because I think, YouTube it's kind of a cop-out. Everyone goes to YouTube, and if you're random and can yell stupid shit, people are going to eat it up. So, I don't know, I guess I want to stay away from what's popular, which probably kind of a death wish in a way. So really we just talk about video games. Maybe an upcoming one. One of the posts today, apparently they're making a Mean Girls video game. And simple shit like that. Stuff that you're not going to hear. No one's going to talk about a Mean Girls video game. Right. I mean, no one really cares. I personally won't play a Mean Girls video game.
But it's interesting that something like that's coming out.
Is that based off the movie? Is that?
I guess
probably.
So.
I would imagine so. Yeah. Maybe not.
It's like an app game. It's not, you're not going to get it for your Xbox One and go home and play on Xbox Live with people, but I guess it's for some.
Could just be hungry lesbians.
Might be hungry hippos.
I don't think Lindsay Lohan's in it.
Same thing.
Is it so? How many people's in on it? It's you. Who else?
At the start, it was me and a friend. The guy who, one of my friends who had said, let's start up a video game site. Now he doesn't post too much, but he helps out. It's me, a guy named Jared, and one other guy named Nick. Right now, there's some others who are definitely on track, who are gonna help write some content. And one of those guys is he works at a retro video game shop, so he's an inside man. He's got a lot of the news and stuff like that, and he's offered a lot of insight. Like there was a post the other day about how to clean like retro video game systems, and in video games, how to not fuck them up when you're messing with the Super Nintendo, how to keep them in working condition. So I learned a lot from that, and I mean that's my own site reading stuff like that to learn from. So that's pretty cool. So.
How do you come about the information that you get before somebody could just go on the internet, Google it?
Like as far as where do I get the content?
Mm-hmm.
I think it. No, go ahead.
Really, the other day I was sitting at work and I was thinking, hey, just try to think of stuff to post about that's not really common, like 10 best shooter video games of the year, and start listing Call of Duties or something.
Right.
I was thinking, yeah, man, that one game where you had the dog, I should talk about that. And I was thinking, oh, I'll talk about some of the best dogs I thought were in video games. And I said, let's go one step further and talk about pets in video games. And so I just asked a few people, like, hey, what do you think are some really cool pets in video games? And got some varied answers, and wrote about the ones I knew about. I didn't even know who most of them were, so it's really that, or just talking about upcoming games.
Right.
So you do your own research on it then?
Yeah, and sometimes some of the posts are really just me, almost being a middleman, like posting about Grand Theft Auto's coming to personal computer in March. Really just me kind of relaying the information, saying, it's coming out on this day, here's the specs for it, here's a link if you want to look at it, here's the trailer. Not really offering anything that no one's heard before, but a way to condense it. So
have you ever thought about contacting the actual makers of the game and say, listen, I've been doing this, and I enjoy talking about upcoming things, like sponsorship, or, I mean, you are doing some legwork for that company, without even really knowing. Like, they don't realize that you're out here doing it, but I'm sure they're like, awesome, he's promoting our stuff.
I've considered it. I know on some of the big ones, like Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar probably doesn't give a shit. Some guy with a few thousand views on his website wants to talk about him, but there's some indie game stuff that's being made by people who aren't multimillionaires, who are just people like us sitting around and said, oh, I've got an interest in making this, and they make it. I haven't done it, but it's definitely something I've thought about.
Are you strictly on just like PC play?
No, I play on PS4 a lot. Right now, one of the main games I'm playing is Grand Theft Auto 5. Mm-hmm. Grand Theft Auto has always been my favorite, and I actually did build my first computer for video gaming a few months ago, so that was a learning process, and I do play a lot on that. But no, I'm not one. I don't try to be an elitist and say, you're a faggot if you play on Xbox.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with Oculus Rift?
I have.
Explain it to me if you have, because I've only heard people talk about it and seen some of the early videos. Yeah. And it seems really fascinating.
I've never actually used one. I've got some friends who have tried it out, and I have one friend who had one of the early stages. It's definitely still in testing, although I think they want to get it released to consumers either late this year or early 2016. And for people who don't know, it's a virtual reality helmet, which sounds like some crazy sci-fi bullshit, but it really helps immerse you in some video games. I've seen some videos that people are getting really creative with it. There was one, it's a horror game, which is one of the main genres with it, because you can
seems
really
alarming. The first thing you do is terrify people.
You can get someone really immersed in a scary ass game, and it was one you were sitting on a couch watching TV in a video game, which most people say, "Oh,
I'm doing that anyway." It's really kind of believable.
Exactly.
We should have the home invasion game. You're relaxing and just
right.
Someone kicks your door. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what happens. You're sitting there actually playing a video game in your video game. You're watching your character sit on the couch.
That's wild.
And stuff happens, like the door opens and you're in the game looking like, oh, the door's opening. There's wind blowing through the window. What's going on?
So you have feelings in it too, you can feel the wind. How does that?
No, it's mostly just visuals and sound. You look over, oh, the blinds are moving, or the door's open. So then someone's knocking on the door.
Hear it in your headphones.
And then you probably assume that, it is like the brain pieces all that together and say, I know what wind is like.
Yeah, because
now it seems real.
The Oculus, it's not just like a TV that's up in your grill. It's pretty much like glasses that are TV screens, I guess, and I don't know. It's really promising. I was considering getting one, but they're about $300 or $400 for something that's still in development, so I don't know if it's worth it right now.
Right.
But it's definitely something to be on the look for. Last week I saw a video. They got interactive porn, like legit porn.
Wow.
And I was thinking, hey, that looks pretty cool. There's the future right there.
For sure.
Women are definitely terrified of this because, I mean,
They're getting
you can either
replaced.
step up like your game or just be replaced.
That's like we talked about before with the sex robots.
We've talked about that many times.
Many times. It's one of my favorite topics. Sex robots come around, ladies. All this bitching and complaining is going to go right out the window.
Yeah.
Well, this is the beginning right there. I mean, they got the fleshlights already.
Perfect.
Pair that with a virtual reality.
With an Oculus Rift.
And then put an Oculus Rift on it and do some mushrooms. Game over.
Nothing's getting accomplished.
Exactly. They're done for.
We thought we were doing the backwards 10 years ago. Wait till that comes out.
Right. No more pyramids will be getting built over here.
No.
How bizarre would that be? How intense, even.
God, I don't even know how that would
Wow. And then you got one of your friends to stand by there and just, at the end, just squirt you with a water pistol. Make you feel like you're really there.
What else would be even can you link people together? Like, could we all have a mask on and be like in the same,
like an online,
like in the same, I don't know, world?
Probably.
And interacting within that world, but we're all just kind of sitting here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they've got support for some of the games that are out right now. Like, you know, I think Grand Theft Auto's gonna have it. It's not gonna be full support, but you know, you can go in and play it in first person and look around. I don't know how well that would work, but yeah, I mean, you can play Grand Theft Auto online, so there'd be no reason you couldn't actually play it with other people.
What's the one where it has the treadmill as well?
That's the same thing.
Same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got like some people have taken treadmills. There was one I saw. It wasn't like a traditional treadmill. It was like a circle.
Just a moving,
right.
Just a moving platform, so
Yeah.
you can actually walk or run.
But you can go side to side also with this one. It's like a bowl of treadmills.
Yeah, I mean, there's some pretty promising technology in the future, really. I think a lot of people they don't realize how fast technology's taken off. I mean, I'm walking there. That's a phone on the ground that can contact anyone in the world in 10 seconds or less, and I can look at a picture from a satellite. That can make out the details of your pubes from fucking space. And people, you tell them, yeah, well, there's a virtual reality helmet, and they think, oh, that's not gonna work. That sounds stupid, but I know
we live in virtual reality. The helmet's like 10 years old. Like it's old technology. Like just look around.
Exactly.
Like, we live in virtual reality anyway.
I heard about these glasses the other day that I forget what they're called, but if you have them on and I have them on and we go and sit at like a picnic table and we wanted to play chess, that we could on looking through the glasses at the table, it would be a chessboard with chess pieces that we could move.
Huh.
But anybody walking by, it would just look like we were just finger banging at a picnic table. Right. I thought that's, in 10 years, that's going to be a thing. You're just going to mash something and you'll be walking down the road and just you'll see everybody like hailing Hitler.
You know what it's like?
The screen.
It's like now when somebody's wearing like a Bluetooth and you see, you don't like see this ear.
Right.
You see them sitting there
talking.
And you're over here in public and they're talking to themselves. You're like, and when Bluetooth first started coming out, you're like, you would double check. Like, is that person
a crazy person?
Or,
yeah.
And then it's like,
I still do it.
Oh, it must be having a Bluetooth. Then as the years went on, you just assume they have Bluetooth. But now you can play imaginary chess. Like the beginning of stages of that, you're gonna be like, is that a crazy person just poking a table in the park?
Right.
With somebody else just poking a table in the park? They're like, oh no, they're playing Oculus Rift. Then 5 years from that point, they're not even gonna think about it. They're playing Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Like you realize it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Look how fast smartphones are taking off. It was what, like 2009, that I was still using a flip phone for a year after that, and smartphones the iPhone had just come out my senior year, so
big fat thing.
Within 6 years, we've got phones that can take a better picture than a professional grade camera, can take video anywhere, and upload it instantly to Facebook and say, look at this, I just caught a UFO on camera. That's why I can't believe in UFOs on Earth, because someone would have taken a fucking video of it and uploaded it. I would have. Someone would have.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a viral video for sure.
Yeah, that shit would
Human race would watch that video.
A billion views.
It'd be a billion views, yeah. I was even thinking about this way, and I went sort of the government's in control of our life, every aspect of our life with it. But think about everybody complains about security cameras, and that's an infringement on privacy. But instead of putting security cameras on streets or in buildings, they put them in our pockets, and we voluntarily upload every second of our lives for anybody to access. So it's like, it's a deeper concept than just cool technology. It's like, wait a minute, we're doing this to ourselves. Are we being tricked? It's really neat, but who's really making it happen?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I think about. So,
well, they say that's why the iPhone is called the iPhone, because they like the Illuminati. All see an eye. That's what I always hear.
Well, the last iPhone had the fingerprint scanner on it. I was like, who's gonna buy that? And then everyone bought it.
Right.
That's ridiculous. No one's gonna use the fingerprint scanner, and then everyone used the fingerprint scanner.
See, that's interesting you said about the eye things. I never heard that point, but it fits right in line with what you said. I didn't know that aspect of it.
The same thing with like, it's so convenient for you to not have to turn your phone around. We have a camera in the front and a camera in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And don't worry, we can remotely turn that on too. If you're laying somewhere, don't worry, we got it.
Right.
We have access. Don't even worry.
That's why I at least take one butthole picture a day.
Got you. If you don't have 10 dick pics on file, you're slipping, because you never know when you're going to be in a spot where you just send one, but you can't take one.
Right.
So you got to be prepared.
Yeah. Because you can't always get to that half chuck. Because nobody's
taking a soft picture.
No, never gonna take a softie.
I always do, because it's like, I'm not tricking anybody.
Right. You got to go in there and slap it against your thigh a few times to get that thing.
That's how you know
reasonable. Reasonable, at least.
Presentable in public.
Jeez Louise, we're way off topic.
That's hilarious.
Let me ask you this. I saw something you posted the other day about new mods to either Fallout 3 or New Vegas.
Yeah.
So is that something that you did to the game?
Well, a lot of people will tell you the reason that they want to play games on PC is because you can mod it.
Right.
Which a lot of people probably don't fully understand what that means. It's nothing like, I'm not going in and like hacking files and hacking the CIA or anything. It's really just
putting stuff in the game that's not normally there.
Yeah, and a lot of PC games do that, because the Fallout games a lot of people loved, but they're definitely dated with new hardware games. I mean, you can play fucking some stuff and it looks real. I can't tell the difference. And Grand Theft Auto 5 sometimes, am I looking at a real building or am I driving in a video game? But it's pretty much, you can go on a website, say here's a mod that revamps all the weapons in the game, so you're not using some like clunky old ugly ass piece of shit, or some that change the way the sky looks. That's the most popular one, is to update all the graphics in a lot of video games. So it's stuff like that, and I mean it's simple as downloading it and telling it the game you want to start that.
Is that where Second Life came from? Kind of the same idea, right? Because you're kind of creating your own world. You're adding something that's already to a platform.
Yeah, honestly, I've never played Second Life. I've seen a lot of videos like making fun of it and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems kind of weird to me that people...
It's definitely weird.
It's one thing to play like World of Warcraft and be like, well, I'm an elf and we're going to go kill a boss and get...
Because that's just fun. It's like, tonight I'll be an elf and do this. But people that get into Second Life, it
like,
literally becomes their first life.
Right.
Everything else is not existent anymore.
Yeah, they go, well, I'm going to go to the strip club. Like, oh, which one? Down on Cervantes? No, the one in Second Life. Where I pay people in bitcoins by PayPal or something.
I look at it this way: people that they don't even have a first life. They're a dork in real life, and they're a dork in that game. Like, it doesn't make you any more cool in that game.
Yeah, it used to be, anyone who played video games was like a nerd or a dork or a geek or whatever, and had no life. And now it's like the cool thing to do. So it's like those people had to find something like, well, shit, Now it's like I've got a life. I've got to do something where it looks like I'm a total loser.
Yeah, beat my wife.
In a video game.
In a video game. My second life.
I don't necessarily think it makes them a loser, because everybody is nerdy or dorky about whatever they do. Like, you can go overboard with anything.
Yeah.
But it's about the stereotype.
But I think what it is that those people, that's a distraction from something else.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Like, there's something else that they need to work on to make them a better person, but they distract themselves by playing Second Life 10 hours a day.
Yeah, I can see that.
What's funny is everybody, comic book geek, comic book dork, and then comic book movies come out and they make like $200 million.
That's a brilliant point. That's a brilliant point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's going and seeing them. And I don't even really care for them, and I'll watch them.
That's a great point, actually.
Yeah, it's like action movies. They don't make them anymore. They just say, well, let's make another Spider-Man, I guess. Or
right.
People
is
like
Liam
Captain
Neeson
America.
too old?
How many years can they make those? How old is he?
Yeah, the guy's got to be in his 70s. I mean, I saw there's a new fucking Terminator.
I saw
movie.
this.
Yeah.
I saw the clip or the blurb about it earlier.
They put a CGI young Arnie Schwarzenegger.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's
Wow.
CGI, and I mean, not in the whole movie. Old Arnie is the main character, I guess. But there's definitely a clip in the
How
trailer.
does it look?
It looked pretty good. CGI is crazy.
It's a little choppy.
Get to the theater.
I heard, and then, Stallone, I don't know if it's this, I think it's this year's, got another Rambo coming out.
Oh, God.
Called Last Blood.
Yeah, we'll see
And-
about
I
that.
think it's a 2-hour movie about checking your diabetes score.
What was funny was, I was seeing all these memes online about, not menstrual cycles, but,
Periods?
what do you call it with the old ladies?
Menopause?
The Last Blood.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know he was a cross-dresser. I had no idea.
Yeah, a lot of stuff about Stallone is shady.
Yeah, him and Bruce Jenner produced it.
They're running track together now. I saw relay team.
It's good.
Man, Stallone's making Expendables. I mean, they made the third one not too long ago. I still haven't seen it, but I really want to. The Expendables 2, I think, is my personal greatest action movie ever because
You're not alone there. People say,
It's
like,
so
even the
over the
first
top.
one, people are like,
So
it's great,
over
you
the
gotta
top.
watch it.
it's ridiculous. Just when you think you've seen it all. I watched Die Hard with a Vengeance and Bruce Willis blew up the boat. Or I watched Rambo and he killed 1 million Cambodians. You're like, well, just wait, because everyone. Stone Cold Steve Austin's in this movie.
Right.
The guy from Dexter's in it. Fucking, I'm waiting on The Rock to kick down a wall. and
Right.
choke slam someone through a table or something. And those movies, I think anyone who takes them serious, they're like, oh, it's just another action movie.
Right.
It is, and it's the action movie.
The greatest thing I've ever seen is Stallone flying that gigantic plane into that tunnel and breaking off both wings, and they just slide to safety. The best.
There's some
Impossible
ridiculous
things
moments.
happen for 2 hours.
Like you said, the Die Hard, I saw Bruce Willis run a car up a concrete cylinder into a helicopter.
It is crazy when you think back on those action movies. Like, there's no way that
Right.
would ever happen. In
Ever.
a trillion tries, that would never happen.
Right. That's what makes movies
Landed
so
perfect.
fun. Though.
That bus landed perfectly over that bridge that Keanu Reeves was driving.
Right.
Amazing.
Perfect aerodynamics.
It's
Not
like-
only would that bus not make that jump, he probably can't even drive a bus.
He can't even spell bus.
And Keanu Reeves turned 50 the other day.
Really?
Oh my god. Keanu Reeves is 50 years old.
I think that's the same speed they had to keep the bus going, wasn't it?
It
He
was-
might die this year.
It might.
It might be it for him.
He may
He
have
might-
a-
it might be
That
it
would
for
probably
him.
be one of the most ironic celebrity deaths ever.
And it's a aneurysm.
Aneurysm.
He's got a
Or a bomb
stable
explosion.
Or a bus
aneurysm
accident.
bust. His blood vessels busting his brain. So the big debate: Xbox One, PlayStation 4. We might as well just go ahead and get this on out there.
Really, I mean, if I had to choose, I'd say PlayStation, but it's not really based off of either system's performance, because that's what a lot of people go into, is they start comparing graphics, and I think it's the stupidest fucking thing when someone look at the PS4's graphics versus the Xbox One, because
That's me, by the way.
I've got a computer that can look 10 times as real as that, and
Right.
but no one wants to spend $1,000 on a computer. Not many people, anyways.
Right.
But PS4 versus Xbox for me is PS4 all the way, because of the business model of Microsoft. Not anything against Bill Gates. That is Bill Gates, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a great dude. I don't think he's got much to do with the Xbox. But early on, before those systems came out, there was just some really dumb shit that Microsoft tried to do, and expected people to buy into it. Because the average consumer is, pretty stupid these days.
Right.
To put it bluntly. But that's how you make money, And so I can't really rag on anyone for making money. But Xbox has some cool things. I would love to be able to be like, Xbox on.
Right.
But Yeah, I could also hit a button.
Exactly.
I'm not that lazy, not yet. So.
See, for me, it comes down to that the games, like as far as the continuation of games, in that's the wrong word for it.
Progression, evolution.
No, they're like the franchise games.
Okay.
Oh, like Halo is only on
right,
Xbox.
Right. To me, that they're better on PlayStation.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There's a few, and that's part of the reason I got the PS4 is because there was a few I knew coming out for that wouldn't be for Xbox. Like I don't care about Halo. I'm not really good at shooters,
Right.
so I've never really given a shit about Halo. But PS4 had
Last of Us,
which I still haven't played, but I'm going to one day.
Ugh, Gage, you're slipping.
I know, and like Uncharted, which I've also never played, but I'm going to one day.
How can you be a respectable Game Informer?
I don't know, but
honest Game Informer.
Those are two of my favorite games of all time.
They're on my list. I've got a lot of stuff that's on my list of things to play, and unfortunately, money's an issue because they still want $60 for a game that I'm gonna play for 10 hours and take back and get $10 for it. So.
Well, there's two ways you can cheat the system, and for you listening at home, time to break out your handy dandy notebook.
That would be a good time for the
musical interlude.
The Blues Clues theme song.
So, number one, GameFly.
Yeah, I've got one of the friends, the guy who originally helped me write for the site. He GameFly stuff all the time, and I don't know why. It's like I've just banged my head against a brick wall and just haven't done it yet.
Right. I do it.
I need to. Maybe I'll do it tonight.
You need to do it tonight. Get your free trial started.
Because there's a few games I want to play, but what's the second one?
The second one is the most OG one. This is what you really want to have.
Steal it from Walmart.
So, GameStop. Go there, buy a pre-owned game. Not a new, but a pre-owned game. They will give you 7 days to bring it back if you don't like it.
That's true.
And get your money back. So you basically can rent a game for 6 days, bring it back, get your money back, buy a whole nother game, bring it back, get your money back, and you're playing games for free.
And you're hurting GameStop, which I think is a good thing because that place is Satan's asshole. Because I got $12 for turning in Destiny the other day, which I won't even talk about why I hate Destiny. I don't like that game. So, but I returned it.
I wish you would have maybe put that on Facebook so I could have bought it.
I would have.
That's okay.
If you could do your best to describe how it's like Satan's asshole, I would really get a laugh out of that. Like details.
Well,
like,
really,
I want to hear like a lava reference somewhere in this.
Every time I walk in the door, there's fire and brimstone smell and sulfur. So I say that's kind of odd. Who's running this joint?
Is it the people that work there, or is it just solely because of the way that they kill you on the prices?
No, I feel like the people who work there are the souls being tormented in hell. And because every time I go in there, the guy's like, "Hi, sir, are you interested in pre-ordering the next Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty? You look like a guy who would..." And he never shuts the fuck up. And he knows, and I know, because I have a friend who worked there, and they tell you, they're like, badger the shit out of these people until they either tell you to fuck off or they buy something.
Right.
And
most people probably buy something because people are socially awkward. Like they have a hard time telling, "Hey, dude, I'm done listening to your stuff.
Like, I'll take your pamphlet.
I just want to browse the section."
Yeah, exactly. Don't get us started.
I'll sign up for your card. Oh, 2 years of a magazine. Fuck, I guess so. I've already got it, but I'll get 2.
I need some more vibe.
But really, the thing that kills me about him is, like I said, I brought in Destiny and 2 other PS4 games. I don't remember what they were, but games that were $60, and they're selling pre-owned copies for $54, and they gave me about $11 to $12 for each one. And I understand. I've seen Pawn Stars. They got to make money. They got their business and their racket. And who else am I going to sell it to other than on Craigslist?
Right.
So I guess they kind of got the market cornered on easily selling shit. But it just frustrates the hell out of me that I know they'll turn around and take those perfect mint condition copies. Hell, they could rewrap that in plastic and sell it as new.
Right.
And they give me $12 for it and sell it for $55.
Yeah.
It's probably what's happening though. That's probably exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Oh,
why wouldn't that be happening?
It
is.
It's
definitely what's happening.
Exactly. And that was part of the reason when I was talking about Xbox.
It's got to be completely against the law if you could catch them, because you can't sell it as new if it isn't new. I feel like there's got to be a law there where it's like,
oh, people do that. I mean, it's easy. You take like some kind of heat gun, wrap some plastic, and oh yeah, it's new.
Absolutely.
Wrap in plastic. Of course, it's new.
Right.
We definitely couldn't do that.
We have 3D printers. We can't wrap something in plastic.
Exactly.
Exactly. But that's one of the issues like with Xbox I had originally, because I also do support pre-owned games, but not for $55 fucking dollars.
Absolutely.
And Xbox was originally talking about saying, oh well, we're not gonna let you run pre-owned games. You're gonna buy the game. It's gonna have a code, and it's gonna be yours. You can't take it to a friend's house and play it. You can't let someone borrow it.
Really?
They went back on that pretty quick because. And I actually wrote a blog post about that 2 years ago, and I said, Microsoft's basically gone belly up because they fucked up big time. They shot themselves in the foot.
Right.
And
they read that and they turned their corner around.
Sony was saying, well, we'll do it. We'll let people buy pre-owned games and play them. So,
right.
But
they're a bunch of dicks, really.
Yeah, they just want to.
The concept makes sense, but it doesn't work in reality.
Right.
Like I understand that. Yeah, if I'm producing this, I should make the money from it, but you can't. Like, how do you do that? Like,
but you're already making billions of dollars.
Part of the idea too, this video games is you go to somebody's house, you play it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't. It kind of takes the gaming, like it takes away from it.
Yeah.
Right. Then they'll be saying you can't bring your other controllers over to the house.
Yeah.
It's tied to your,
throat.
Your Xbox, which is bolted to the floor of your home. So, you're not taking that shit anywhere.
What's new coming out that you look forward to playing?
Right now, one of the ones I got my eyes on is Dying Light. May have heard about it. It's the craze these days, last few years, is zombie games and games where you can like craft items. And Dying Light is basically like a first-person game. You're running around a town, zombie apocalypse. You have to search boxes to find shit to build items, and you go out at night and shit apparently mutates, gets 10 times harder. So it's kind of you got to stealth around at night, but during the day, it's the zombies are slow and stupid. So that's getting really good reviews. Other than that, there's not too much on the horizon that I'm looking forward to personally. There's a few that Jared, the other co-administrator of Epic Power, posted about the other day. There's a few coming out this week that a few people are looking forward to. I hadn't heard of about half of them, but there's Bloodborne on the PS4, which if you've ever heard of Dark Souls, it's kind of like a new generation version of Dark Souls. And then there's The Order 1886, which is kind of
a lot of hype behind that.
Yeah, like a Victorian era. I don't know if you'd say Victorian era, like a steampunk mystery game shooter. I haven't really looked into that one too much either, and then other than that, I said like
they hunt werewolves.
Yeah. So they've got those on the horizon, and then
what about Evolve?
And Evolve as well, and I was reading about that today because I figured we could talk about that one a little bit. That one seems pretty interesting. The general consensus right now is it's not fully finished. Of course, it's in beta, so it's not even released yet, but it seems to have some interesting ideas. But the problem is lately developers want to overpromise and underdeliver.
Mm-hmm.
And the bigger issue with that, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and heck, even like 3 years ago, wasn't a big problem because if BioWare told me, well, the new Mass Effect game or the new Dragon Age is going to have this, and this, I'd expect that, but when it came out and didn't have it, I didn't have to buy it. Well, nowadays, everyone's doing early access games on Steam where, pay $20 to get into the early alpha release of the game and basically beta test and bug test this game for us. And, we'll add this as time goes by. But a lot of people are getting themselves burnt because the developers say, well, idiot, we have your money, stupid. We have no reason to update the game. Why would we want to do that?
Right.
You paid us your $30. Why would we update it? So that's one of the issues a lot of people are complaining about now. And with pre-orders like GameStop, that's the other thing. Going in there, you can't walk 2 feet without someone saying, well, if you pre-order Assassin's Creed 15, you'll get a special blade that glows green at night and a fucking machine gun to kill the Indians with.
Real live machine guns.
Yeah, and with your pre-order you can get a free
Satan's
Beretta 9mm.
autograph.
And get Satan's autograph.
Satan will holler into your phone to have a ring back.
Right.
So there's a large movement right now about no more pre-ordering games, which I haven't done in a long time, because I don't think that far in the future. But because people say when you pre-order a game, you're giving your money to the developer, and you don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
And with stuff like Grand Theft Auto's online had a big problem initially, where for probably a week and a half, you know, the online was one of the big things they were touting was going to be fun with their game, and it is. It's fun as fuck. I love it. You know,
right.
I'm probably gonna go home and play some tonight. But initially, it had a lot of problems, and it still has a lot of problems. Like, I mean, 3 and 4 minute load times that I've got to do, you know, back to back, and then like Battlefield 4 when it came out, it was a lag fest for everyone. No one could get anything done, so there was a lot of complaints with that. So a lot of developers, especially EA, they're one of the big perpetrators that I don't think a lot of people are trusting them as much anymore. So.
Which is a shame because they were always my favorite.
They were great for, you know, 15 years. They were behind all the Madden games, I think, and most of the sports games. And EA, it's in the game. And then I don't know what happened, but they shit the bed.
Now they eat ass.
Yeah, eat ass. That's what that stands for. They won like the worst company of the year for 3 years.
Wow.
Something like that.
I know. Whenever Grand Theft Auto first came out, and nobody could get online because I guess everybody was rushing to it, and Rockstar didn't expect it for some reason because it's only every person's favorite video game.
Exactly.
Even people who don't play Grand Theft Auto want to, you know, come over. Oh yeah, I'll go.
Your grandparents are in
people.
line.
A lot of that's probably just a marketing play, though. Like, let's get something out there and start to create a buzz. And if something, it's a good problem to have, but it got way too big.
Yeah.
I know though. My biggest thing was I was super, and you've probably heard this. You're probably yourself excited about it, and all my friends who we play online with it was the heist. You know, they always say,
Oh yeah,
you and your friends can come on and plan a heist. You can go rob a bank. It'll be a whole thing. It'll be super fun. Never came out.
It is still not out.
Still
But
every month they
they're
say
supposed
it's coming.
To. Yeah, they made an announcement last month and it had a trailer out. Well, it's going to be coming out with the PC release, supposedly, you know,
right?
Air quotes, in March like 24th, I think. I don't know if it'll happen, and I don't even know if I want it to happen because I have no friends who play it really, and the people who play that game online are the worst people
in the world.
I swear to God, they're the YouTube commenters. You ever go on YouTube and you look at what people say and you're like,
horrible.
This is the worst person who's ever lived, and then you read the comment under him, you say, second worst. They comment on YouTube and then they immediately turn around and play Grand Theft Auto online. And,
yeah.
You know, it boggles my mind. Who wants to spend 45 minutes running in a circle in the fucking desert? Just finish the mission. I want my money, and I want to go drive my motorcycle, not in a mission.
Right.
I want to race you or something, or we can go shoot up a bank or something. But nope.
Well, what's funny to me, whenever we first started doing it, the online stuff, so the only way that you could really get any money is you could rob a convenience store, or you could race, get your money up. Okay. Well, once another big problem they had was they would some people started getting their characters deleted after they put in all these hours and time and stuff. Then they'd go to log in and their character would be reset.
Yeah.
All right. So Rockstar took a page out of the government's playbook and said, okay, all we're going to do is just throw some money at the problem. I know we just erased you, but they literally called it a stimulus package.
Yep.
Where they gave every character in the game, like every person that had a character, like, what, $250,000 something like that?
It was like $500,000.
Or $500,000.
You can buy money for real life money, and $500,000 is about, I think that's about $15 worth of real money. So it's not like it really converts. I can't sell my Grand Theft Auto money for real money.
Right.
But they gave you a decent amount, enough you could buy a nice sports car or something and drive it. But was it enough to really make up for the
shittiness?
I don't know.
Something so strange happened to me in that I felt like a little girl. I
Explain that.
I was walking around in the
talk slower.
I was walking around in the city. This really nice looking guy pulls up in a car. A really nice car. I get in with this guy. And the guy I'm playing online with said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I have no idea. This guy just picked me up." So we drive around. We go to this really super nice high-rise penthouse. And we go in there, and it's a really nice place.
And he says,
I know where this
suck
is going.
a dick and make a pimp rich.
It's a Mr. He said, the assistant came out and said, "Mr. Gray, we'll see you now." But no, I'm looking around this apartment. I'm like, "Damn, this shit is fly." And go down into his garage. They had all these super nice ass cars. So I'm like walking around trying to get into these cars. None of them are opening up, and the guy's just like sitting over there looking at me. And then the screen kind of went black. I was outside the apartment. The guy was nowhere around, and I started thinking to myself, did I just get virtually banged?
No, you got virtually laughed is what happened.
Right.
Dumped.
Super dumped. I was thinking, how the hell, man?
That stood up in fantasy world.
And then someone came up and shot you to death.
Oh, of course.
For 15
Someone
minutes.
came over and ran me over as I was trying to just run to the convenience store to get some cigarettes. And just comes and run you up, shoot you up or whatever.
That's the thing that gets me.
Yeah.
Kill you.
And then take all your money that you just worked so hard on that mission for 25 minutes.
Ooh, $5,000.
Damn, I gotta find an ATM.
Is Minecraft a half-finished game? And then it's like, let's see if somebody will play it. Let's just
No.
throw it out there.
I don't even know. Well, yeah, what's going on with that game? It's so popular.
Because it seems like it's shitty.
It's
all
very.
boxy and like it seems half finished.
It's
and then
really
like,
hard to explain.
who will play this game? Let's just try it.
It's been out for probably 5 years now, and the dude who made it, I think initially, he was, I don't know if you've ever seen his picture. The guy looks pretty ridiculous, but he
I can't imagine.
yeah
His idea of reality came through that video game.
I
It's
think he's
not
like
the most accurate.
Denmark or something.
Of course.
But he he made the game, and it's like Legos. If I had to explain something,
It's like Legos, but autism Legos.
yeah. I mean, Minecraft is fun. I've played it and had fun, but I'm not like creative. So you see all these videos of people like, I built the Statue of Liberty in my free time over this weekend in Minecraft, and I'm like, wow, I dug a hole in the ground and died when I fell into some lava, and then I gave up and turned it off and said, fuck this, I want my $5 back. But no, it's
What's the premise?
It's pretty much just like an open world run around game. You can
you kill?
yeah, you can kill people. There's
In the most uncoolest way possible.
yeah, the graphics, it's a really untraditional graphic style, which I think is what they were going for. Everything's like blocks. It's literally like Legos, and I mean, you can run around, dig, find caverns, maybe fight some zombies or some spiders in there. It can be fun for a little bit, but like I said, if you're not like a really creative person, then you probably lose interest really quick, like me.
I wouldn't mind stabbing someone in the box though.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I know. I saw at Walmart they had a sword that was all blocky.
Yeah, it's really popular, and not to like insult anyone who's a huge fan of it, but it's really popular with the like 10-year-olds.
That's exactly, guys.
It's
cartoonish.
We're insulting you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. There's adults who spend all day playing it, and I can definitely see why. If you're creative and you can think of oh yeah, I built this bitchin' castle. That's super cool. And there's people who have built some insane stuff. I mean, like the entire world from Game of Thrones in Minecraft, or
really?
Yeah, or like the USS Enterprise from Star Trek. They built that. And there's some people who have built computers. So
computers in the game.
Yeah, well, without getting really technical, computers is basically a series of on-off switches, and using thousands of those and stuff like that, they built simple calculators, which sounds really like, well, simple calculator, who cares about that? But it's pretty interesting how people have gotten creative enough to figure out how to do that.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't do something like that.
Like I said, I can't barely dig a hole in the ground in that game without killing myself. So
you're digging a hole in the ground just so you can die in it. What a fun game!
Life. Is the only thing you heard about I'm completely talking out of my ass here, so I only heard a little bit about it, but using like photons to turn on and off those switches as fast as possible to make like super fast computers.
I don't know.
So I remember reading a thing about it a long time ago, and it was basically like using photons to click on the switches, the on and off switches as fast as possible to have like super fast computers.
I mean, I guess theoretically they could. I don't know all about the inner workings of a computer. Like I said, I built my first one a few months ago, and there's you might know someone who's really into video games, but tell you what, I don't know shit about computers really. I've learned a lot since September when I put it together. I mean, it's like incredibly expensive Legos where they're $300 a piece, but I could see using photons, because all photons are is light, and being able to turn that shit really quick. And I mean, they're making faster and faster computers every day. Like, we get pissed when our phones won't load a Facebook within 5 seconds, but I very well remember waiting 20 minutes to listen to fucking Nookie by Limp Bizkit off LimeWire in 2006.
Yeah, Napster.
Right.
Damn Napster. 5 minutes, it's in the queue. I'm done. I
this
don't
is
have it.
bullshit. I don't get time.
Was it weird were you nervous at all whenever North Korea contacted you to hack Sony
To be honest, I believe that was all a bunch of bullshit
to hype the movie?
from that stupid movie. I haven't actually seen it. Maybe it's not stupid, but
I've seen it. You're okay.
is it stupid?
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
We're stupid
That's
because it made $1 billion. And
Yeah.
whatever the
But
number was.
it didn't.
Oh, it didn't?
What's funny is
First day must have been big.
Well, it's on
it
Netflix
never came out to the theater. It only went to
Ah.
independently owned theaters
And YouTube.
and YouTube and Google Play.
I wonder if that was
And
all.
now it's on Netflix.
I wonder
That's
if-
how I watched it.
I wonder if that was always the idea. Like, they didn't get backing by a big company, so like we have to figure out a way to do as good as we
Well,
can.
Sony was behind it.
With the they were.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know what happened then.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. They got afraid that the world was gonna end.
Over a movie.
Over a
North
movie.
Koreans aren't even allowed to watch it. So how are they going to get
How
offended?
they even know
How
about
are they
it?
going to get offended? By
I
it?
don't.
They don't even. Yeah, how would they ever know about it? They don't even.
Yeah. They don't have internet. The number of people who can use the internet in North Korea is like 500 at the most, and I'm sure they're not using it like, well, we'll check my Facebook or beat off to some tranny porn. They're probably Googling what's America doing so that we can tell people that they're doing something dumb. Like,
Real bad.
They're not worried about what Seth Rogen's doing. Let's just.
I'm
put it
not
that
worried
way.
about what Seth Rogen's doing.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Seth Rogen.
For the record.
Just
For the record, I'm
going
just-
on the record.
I got to
here.
get that straight.
You can quote me on that one.
This is a completely different topic. I was watching a video today. It's interesting though. It was stats of there was a guy talking about gun laws and gun control and gun ownership in America, and it was the world. It was the world statistics that per capita America has the most own the most guns. There's more guns in America than any other country in the world. But the interesting part about it was crime per capita. We're like 111 on the list.
Really?
So we own the most guns as people, but the gun-related crime per capita is like we're 111 statistically in the world.
And there's like 170 countries in the world. Maybe.
And then he broke it down for like the most violent cities. It was like Detroit, Atlanta, and even with
Chicago,
even with those high states, we're still 111. And he was talking about Texas has the most gun per people per state.
I don't
They
know
have,
if there
like-
are really people over there.
They have 0.4% gun crime per person.
Hmm.
And it was kind of interesting because we were always told the other way around. Violence is out of control. Guns
Right.
kill
Yeah.
people. The people that run to the street shooting up the place. Well, statistically, we're one of the safest countries in the world.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Well,
We
think
have
about that.
drinking water here. So.
Exactly. I mean, think about if you're gonna do some crime, you'll probably die.
Yeah,
That's
the
a pretty
other
good
side of that coin. That's
Right.
probably why Texas is so safe because it's like if you're gonna pull your gun, so
So
am I.
Right.
So am I. Who's gonna pull it and who's got the balls to actually pull a trigger?
And in the other cities and countries, it's one guy with a gun, and then he
Yeah.
chops off your kid's arms.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he, probably face fucks him after that.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, like you don't have
I'm
to
just
be, you
throwing
don't have
darts
to,
at the board.
you don't have to have balls if you have a gun.
Man, it's
That's why you have a gun.
the great equalizer. I don't know. I've got one at home.
Well,
Gotta be careful.
Red Ryder.
I got a shotgun at home.
Whoa.
Yeah, my dad gave it to me. I keep it Well, I'm not gonna say it.
Evidence.
He keeps it under his bed, fully loaded.
It's evidence at this point.
The barrel tastes disgusting. I'll tell you that much.
It is fully loaded, and it scared me when we first got it because I didn't have any shells for it for about 2 months or so, and so I would always joke with Caroline. I'd pull it out and pump it and be like, all right.
Wait a minute, the gun?
The gun.
Whoa!
The gun.
It's a child show.
Pull out the gun and do that and pull the trigger. Oh, there's no shells on it. So I got it and it's loaded now. And every time I see it, I'm always tempted to like, don't fucking touch that. Don't even knock it over because
my wife likes to put my pistol in my mouth while she's while we're doing stuff.
A little bit of S&M.
Right.
It heightens the.
We play Russian roulette right before we climax for that ultimate sensation.
Brought to you by Sig Sauer.
Exactly. I can see the comments now. You guys are fascists. So, anything that's going to be coming out soon on your website that we should check out?
Right now we're working on streaming certain games. Probably not going to be me because for some reason the audio through my computer sounds like garbage. So it'll probably be Jared Epic Power. That's his name on Twitch. You can watch him. We usually play some Heroes of the Storm, which is a Blizzard game. I won't get too into it. We probably don't have too much time. So streaming that. I stream a few different games every now and then. I've been thinking about trying to do something on like a day off where I have people vote for a game I'm going to play and play it for a few hours. See how that goes.
I was going to say that might be something interesting to do, is do like maybe a daily poll or something like that.
He does a daily poll.
Bada bing.
Yeah. So we got a few, and there's a few polls that we post every now and then on the site. So, but other than that, not much that I could tell you is going to happen in the future. Just keep an eye out for different posts.
I really enjoy the website personally. One question that the last one, we've only got a few minutes here left, and I'm sure that you can't say one in particular, but if you had to say favorite game of all time, I'm going to say it in two ways. For you, what is your favorite game of all time? It's okay to name a couple, and also overall, just not in your opinion though, what do you think the most influential game is?
Most influential game is either going to be like Super Mario Brothers,
right?
Something classic, or like Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Mm-hmm. I mean, even for me, that was a big one. As far as my favorite game, it's really tough, and it probably changes from
year to year,
like week to week, year to year. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was a game at a point in my life, not just because of the game being great, but because at a point in my life I was in middle school. I didn't really have a ton of friends in middle school, so I was hyped beyond belief. That was like Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa all rolled into one for me.
Here's how good of a point that is. I didn't play many video games, but that one I did play, and if I heard some of the songs that were on the car,
yeah.
you'd be like, I know exactly what that song is.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it was that same track. I don't know how many there were, but you always knew it was what it was.
Exactly. That game was the bomb back in 8th grade.
You fly the helicopter. You can do all sorts of stuff. Drive the boat.
Is Grand Theft Auto your favorite franchise?
Yeah. I'd probably say that. It's one of those games it's just over the top enough to be like a cartoon, but it's serious enough that it keeps you interested, because you don't just want to play over the top crazy shit like, oh, I'm flying a hovercraft up, Jesus's bunghole or
penis
something.
hole.
Right.
So it keeps it grounded while also being really goofy. Like Grand Theft Auto's got a bunch of ridiculous, companies and jokes in it. So yeah, I'd say that's probably one of my favorite series, franchises, whatever, of all time. Yeah, I can't really think of any others right now.
Sorry.
Ask me later, I'll change my mind probably.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
EpicPowerGaming.com. Epic Power Gaming on Facebook.
And Twitter.
What is it on Twitter?
It's Epic Power Gaming.
Okay.
How did you...
Simple. But, sponsor.
Wait Time Fitness.
Thanks, Wait Time Fitness.
See you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks. Love you guys.
I wasn't gonna mention it